Well, hey, welcome back. It's November 20th, 2022. It is a cold and windy Sunday out here in Northeast Pennsylvania. So what am I doing out here? Well, came out here to do a little test and tune on this. What is this, you might ask? This is the Beretta 92 X RDO Centurion G. That's a big mouthful, so let's unpack it. 92X means it has a Picatinny rail. As you can see, that's occupied by a TLR1 HL. Centurion, chopped barrel. It's 4 1/4 inches as opposed to 4.7 inches, and yes, that makes a lot of difference. X, the X grip. It comes factory, well, in factory configuration with a Vertec flat style grip on it. They also include in a panel, or in the box, these panels that give you the traditional Beretta style grip that I like, that lets me really get up in there on it. I do believe this is a bit thinner than my M9A1. However, we'll get to that in a minute. RDO. Red dot optic. That's what these two screws here are for. This gun will never see a red dot. So what else is new on this one compared to the old one? Oh, and decocker model. So for those of you that know, Berettas have the slide mounted safety and decocker. So normally, or on my M9, when you decock it, the safety lever will stay down. However, on the G model, it pops back up and leaves you with double action, so you don't have to worry about having your gun accidentally or inadvertently flip on safe, and then when you go to fire, you get a dead trigger. Plus, I think it makes for a smoother double action pull. The other things new to this gun that my M9 does not have, some forward cocking serrations and dovetail front and rear sights, which is immensely better than what came on my M9, which I'll show you in a second here. This particular one, we've already seen it's not loaded, right? It has a high-vis red, orange, whatever you want to call that, front sight. You can see that? Yeah, there we go. Let's get some contrast. And a blacked out rear sight. It also comes in a little bit lighter than the standard full-size Beretta, and a lot of that has to do with the shortened barrel, but I also think a good amount of that has to do with the fact that this is more polymer than it is aluminum. Not that aluminum is all that heavy to begin with. Well, that's going to be a problem. That seems to be walking itself loose for no apparent reason. We'll see what's up with that. So, if you were to look at my M9, my full size, these are pinned on night sights. This is loaded, so I'm not going to point it at myself. If you can see that front tritium sight, that's pinned on, and I ended up using some bright green paint to, well, you know what, let's just do this, because somebody's going to complain, and they're going to be right. I used some bright green paint to make it more visible in the daytime. So that's empty, right? There you go. And the rear sight is just dovetailed in night sights. They don't glow anymore. I'm cool with that. I would prefer to have the blacked out rear and a high vis front. As far as the safety goes on this one, right, that's just the safety. So when you flip that on, dead trigger. And I've had that go on inadvertently reloading. Additionally, if you look, this is a traditional Beretta with the all metal backside there. So the X comes down straight like the Vertec did, and then this hump is mimicked by a polymer grip. That actually feels a lot thinner. So let's side by side them so you can see for length purposes. Notice the Centurion is noticeably smaller. And then, let's see. There we go. I don't know if you can see it in that, but the Centurion grip is noticeably thinner too. And I'm not sure about front to back, but that's more of an inside operation. That's not what we came out here for though. Came out here to shoot it, see how it shoots. Because this is probably, well, definitely going to be my new carry gun. I don't care how much of a stud you are, jamming a 5-inch barrel in your pants with an X300 on it, whether it's at the appendix or the 4 o'clock, is a tall order. So, put that on safe and leave her over here. So, I opted for the smaller version. Plus, I've wanted one of these since they came out. The price was preventative for me at the time. So yeah, enough chatty, let's shoot. Okay, boys and gremlins, we are about 6 yards from that target. Make sure you got your eyes and ears on. I'm not really out here to see, well, to have anybody diagnose my shooting. I anticipate it's gonna be atrocious, but that's okay. I more wanna see how this gun is gonna perform. All I'm shooting today is some 124 grain PMC bronze ammunition. First pop from double action. Okay, let's go see how we did. Walk it in. Okay. So, that's definitely passable. As you can see, there's a few that ended up down there. The old low left Beretta trick. I'm gonna load up a few more magazines and get back at this. When I'm done, we'll wrap up. But for now, I'm going to do my shooting in private. Okay, so that's the first 50 round grouping at 67 rounds. That is more than acceptable. There were some flyers that are off to the side down here. There's a flyer up there. I will take it. The gun functioned flawlessly, which I expected from a Beretta. I shot 50 rounds of that stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit overpriced, but it's what I could get. I did one string fire from concealment. This is just I don't even know who makes that. I think it's an Xfer, whoever makes that clips around the light. And works wonderful for that little gun. I used these 2 crappy factory mags they give you, the 15 rounders that still have the old 92 S cut for the heel jam mag release, and then 3 of these Mekgar 18 rounders, and these are my preference for go-to in the gun mags, with these 20 rounders being my backups, as in my reloads. So anyway, the one thing I didn't bring out was some HST. I would have liked to see how that performed in there, and I'm not shooting carry rounds out of my carry gun at the moment because, well, that equals less than a full magazine, and save that for another day. The only thing that's been done to this firearm since I brought it home was I cleaned it, swapped out the grips, and put in a Wilson Combat 14-pound hammer spring. And that makes for a really crisp double action trigger and a really crisp single action trigger, and a fairly smooth double. Should put it at around 7 pounds for double and around 4 for single. That's more than serviceable. I don't really want to go any lighter than that, just for reliability purposes. It is a little bit on the gritty side still, but that'll shoot itself out. I'm not going to do any polishing, nothing. I'm just going to do this one old school style. Shoot it smooth. All right, guys. I hope that was enjoyable for you. I'm going to go home, edit this all together, clean it, and throw it in a holster. Be safe. Watch your 6. Out for now.